So, like, what would you say has been your biggest win in this space in tourism? Because I know we were talking off camera about how some people, after they finish a tour with you, they have actually moved here.
Yeah.
So you are changing lives with this business. So,
No, no,
what would you say has
no.
been your biggest win?
Well, I think you're really close to hitting it on the head because that's not our intention to say, oh, okay, you come on a tour just so you can see if you want to move here. If that's the case, you're probably going to come and look for things that is not going to assist you. However, if we put you in an apartment, because we don't put you in hotel rooms, we put you in apartments. So you have your dining room table, you have your kitchenette, you have everything, nice apartments, nothing below the level. We put you in nice apartments, and of course you have drivers, you have all these things while you're here, and I think the biggest thing is people start realizing that they can actually live here simply because now they're accessing a level where before they were here in the United States and now they're coming here and they're like got amazing reservations and then they just really start asking the right questions because they see it. But if they never see it, for example, if they come here and they went to Mobining and they did the little club thing, they did this, it's that doesn't lend to you them living
Yeah.
here. But if they're in a space where they're like, okay, I got amazing room service, I got all these things, and then they realize that it's affordable, and then some people end up saying, okay, well, I want to do a house tour, and then they go see the homes, and they're like, wait a minute, hmm, I can afford this cash because I got this much in equity in my house. And then they start seeing all the black people that they're seeing, and they start feeling comfortable after about 2 or 3 days. It's a hard pill to swallow after you've done all that. So
Yeah.
that's not our intention, but we know people are going to want to eventually explore this a little deeper, and they end up exploring it, and they end up becoming neighbors.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask, and I think a lot of people will be curious to know because Africa is home to 54 nations, right?
Yeah.
So, why South Africa? Like, you have Ghana, which has done a really great job
Mm-hmm.
of promoting the year of return, where it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like inviting Black Americans to come back home. And South Africa hasn't necessarily put any sort of marketing initiative like that out
Yeah,
there.
that's
So,
true.
like, why? Why South Africa out of all of these nations here?
Well, it's kind of like I'm gonna compare it to the United States. I grew up in North Carolina. I lived in Northern Virginia. Those other nations didn't market. Virginia didn't market, but it worked for me.
Yep.
Um, North Carolina, I didn't get a choice. I was just there, and I fell in love with it. And I'm still a Tar Heel, basketball fan. And
Boo.
but it whatever felt comfortable. It really felt comfortable. There are those that are like, well, why don't you go check out all the nations? I wouldn't never find a home if I'm going to check out every nation. Get to the nation. There's all these different cities. One thing that I do know throughout Africa, there is a lot of similarities between Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, which is Africa. And so you're going to find Africa here in South Africa as well. For me and my wife, it just was more comfortable. Truth be told, we like things, and South Africa had it in spades. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I got South Africa. They have everything that we need, and plus it's Africa as well. I'm not looking for anything. And if I'm looking for it, I just got to look a little, maybe to the left or to the right, and I find it. So for us, it was just a no-brainer, and now it's just taking time to get to understand and know Africa and get more acclimated to my African side. Because I was American all day long. I can tell you all about America, but I didn't know much about Africa. And now that I'm acclimated to my African side, I lean more heavily on that than I do my American side. I remember it, I think about it from time to time, but I'm more along the lines of, this is how Africans move, this is how Africans roll. I'm rolling with them. And because they allow me to be here, they're happy that I'm here, they treat me very well, they treat my family very well. As somebody would say, what's not to like?
Wow, that's really powerful. You said something that we gotta tap into that.
Go for it.
Getting acclimated with your African side.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean to you? Like what is that?
Oh, okay, great. People say, Africans don't like Americans, and Americans don't like Africans. And I think the biggest thing is that as an American, we're very rude. We're rude. And, we could be very offensive, and we don't even know we are. Because if we were having a conversation with our white counterparts, we could just walk in the room and say, hey, Jim, I need you to do whatever. And Jim wouldn't have a problem with it. You wouldn't have a problem with it. And if he did the same to you, not a problem. But in Africa, no, that's rude. You have to greet people. You have to talk to people. You got to see them. You got to have that conversation. It used to be annoying, but now it's like, to me, it's compulsory. You need to have that conversation, even if somebody's serving you or whatever the case may be. And that's just the beginning. And then just really understanding, what it means to belong to a tribe or belong to a clan of people and how they operate. It's beautiful if you actually take the time to look versus saying, okay, I read about it on Google, which isn't made by a black guy, somebody else. So just to try to understand who they are as people. Once you go down that road, trust me, you're not gonna want to go back. And so that's where I've been for the last 7 years, or maybe even longer. Because I think before I moved here, because I was traveling back and forth so often, I felt more comfortable being here in South Africa than being in Northern Virginia, where my house was and my car was, my family was, to the point to where it was aggravating being there because everybody's rude, everybody's just talking, and nobody's not doing anything. Versus in Africa, if I'm here in South Africa and somebody tells me, and they mean it, hey brother, let's make a plan. That means that we're going to sort this out. And then when somebody says it's sorted, I don't concern myself anymore because they have taken care of it. And they made a plan for me. I like it. So they'll keep making a plan for me to be here, and I'm going to continue to be here. They want me here. I can't say that for the U.S.
Man, you dropped so many so many gems, and now I have so many follow-up questions. But okay, one quick follow-up question that I have to this point that you just made, this amazing point that you just made. What would you say are the top, let's say, 2 to 3 common traits of Americans, and we'll say specifically Black Americans, that you see that we bring to this country without even realizing that this is, so I know you brought up the rudeness, so we got one there, but could you give us like a real life example of things that we do that we don't even realize are perceived so incredibly rude and inappropriate in this environment?
I think, they have their struggles and we have our struggles. And for the most part, you won't hear them talking about their struggles so much. They just want to talk to you about the culture, where they come from, and just who their parents were. And I'm from KZN, so let me tell you about that. They're very proud of where they come from. Us, we come in and we are talking so rudely about the United States. We're talking bad about everything. We come in like we got so many problems, and they need to be concerned with us versus us being concerned with them, when it should be a mutual thing. And I think that's what happens when we come in and we don't see them, which goes back to what I was saying before. We need to see that they got their struggles, we got our struggles, but how can we make a plan to move beyond this? They want to make the plan. We want to come and possibly just want to get away from that. But you need to be, if you want to get away, fine, but come to make a plan with your new home if you decided that you wanted just to be home.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Some great points. Just to wrap us up, could you tell us how we can get in contact with you? How can we take advantage of your tours? Okay. All of that good stuff.
Okay. To take advantage of the tour, basically just go to the website, therealsouthafrica.com. Go there. If you have any questions, you can always click the button that says contact us, and you can send a message, or you can book a phone call, because a lot of people don't understand this whole South Africa thing. There's too much TV telling you things, and I think that's a distraction, simply because when I used to ride back on the plane back and forth, there was a large group of people who were not distracted, and they didn't look like me. I'm just saying. And so I would say, book a phone call, trust what we're saying, because we're not going to lead our people down the wrong path. So that's the best way, is our website, therealsouthafrica.com. And of course, we got a YouTube channel. I think some people have found that, and you'll find a lot of people who came on tour. It's probably like several hundred videos of people who came on tour with us who wanted to do a video, because they always want to tell the story. Some of these people in those videos were not interested in coming to South Africa, but somebody made them come. Like, oh, well, my wife wants to come, so he's going to come, or vice versa. Or my mom wants to come, so I just came to make sure. And then the person who didn't want to come are the ones who are in the videos, because they're like, this is incredible. I just cannot believe it. So contact us that way. And of course, you can find us on Instagram 18, I think that's what it is. And Facebook, just put facebook.com/The Real South Africa, and you'll find us there. That's a pretty robust platform as well.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so very much for your time, and most importantly, your wisdom, because I learned a whole lot from this conversation.
Excellent.
All right.